A few weeks ago, I shared a video where I had talked about something that had manifested so quickly for me that I was actually shocked. It was honestly too much to share exactly what happened and all the details in that other video. So as promised, here is what I manifested, how it happened, and most importantly, how fast it happened. I'm gonna share exactly what I did. Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm Mary Kate and I'm a mindset coach and manifesting expert focused on getting you transformational results. My whole channel is all about manifesting, the law of attraction with meditations and more, where I share the tools you need to get the results you want. And to be quite honest, I make manifesting easy because that's the way it's meant to be. I post brand new videos every single Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. And also, if you like this type of video and want more what I manifested type videos, go ahead and hit that little thumbs up button below. That will really help me gauge if you like these kinds of videos, and then I'll make more of these for you. These are actually really personal, and I haven't made one of these what I've manifested videos in a while, so I'm actually really excited to be sharing this with you. Let's get personal. But really, the main reason that I don't share these types of videos all the time is mainly because I tend to be very private and intentional about what I am manifesting. I find that oversharing what I'm attracting and calling in can sometimes get me out of the zone. And when I'm working through my subconscious programming, I really don't like any outside influences. I don't want any distractions, if that makes sense. Manifesting is honestly really deep, internal, and personal work. I mean, have you ever shared something you're trying to manifest and then all of a sudden other people start sharing their opinions on it? You really have to be cautious because a lot of people will start to project their scarcity mindset or limited beliefs or doubts onto you if they don't think it's possible. But the truth is, it doesn't matter what they think. It's not their life. It doesn't matter if they believe it's possible because they can only operate at the level of their beliefs. You are in charge of your life and your beliefs. So it only matters what you think and believe and get your energy behind. So just a little word of advice. Be cautious about what you're sharing when you're trying to manifest something. I am very protective over my energy and focus, so I tend to keep things very internal and instead find the techniques that work and share them with you. But I really love being able to share my strategies and techniques so that you can use them too. And let me tell you, I am always researching and creating new techniques based on brain science and all of the things that I'm constantly reading and learning about. So for this specific manifestation, the strategy that I used was in this other video that I shared a few weeks ago. If you missed it or haven't tried it yet, I will leave a link up here and a link down below so that you can watch it and try it out too. Like I said, in that video, I shared the exact technique I used, but I didn't get into exactly what I manifested. I just talked about it. But this technique uses a specific secret power number when it comes to manifesting. And this number honestly feels like a true cheat code when it comes to manifesting. Yes, I've just kind of learned the meaning behind that word, and that's the best word to describe this power number that I talk about. So seriously, be sure to try out this technique I used because my manifestation showed up within hours after using it. And honestly, probably even sooner than hours, but I fell asleep and I can only go off of the email, which I will get to in a second. I am very rarely ever shocked, but this one really amazed me. Now let's get into what I manifested and how it all happened. So I did this technique around maybe 9 or 10 p.m. and when I woke up, it was complete. And the way it happened was so crazy that I can't even make it up. So what I manifested was a brand new Apple computer fully loaded with all of the upgrades. I'm not talking about one of their little baby computers. This was the exact one that I had been looking at towards the beginning of last year. And it's basically top of the line, exactly what I need for all of my editing and meditations and sound. This computer's got it all. I honestly had been putting off getting this computer for months, maybe even almost a year, because I'm really attached to my MacBook Pro that I have now. Do you ever feel that way? Like really attached to something that you use every day and something that's trusty and loyal and it works well? Like this MacBook Pro that I already have, and I'm still using also, I'm using both now, but this has been my trusty technology for a while and it still works great and does a great job, but to be able to handle the amount of work that I throw at my computer, I needed the bigger one with more storage and processing and capacity. But for a while now, I wasn't ready to give up on my MacBook Pro all this time. I just wasn't ready to give it up yet. Honestly, it was kind of out of pure convenience. I didn't feel like taking the time to transfer all the files and all of the work that goes into a new computer. If you know, you know. Anyways, let's get into the fun part of how it showed up. This is always my favorite part. So I had looked online at the Apple website maybe 2 to 3 times earlier in the year to see what all of the computer options were and compare all the different models. But it was really the laziest sort of research possible. I wasn't fully interested, I was just kind of seeing what was out there. I maybe clicked 2 things and got distracted, but I had never added one to my cart or even really got into the buying options because I really just didn't think it was a good time. And like I said, out of pure convenience, I really wasn't interested yet. I didn't want to dive into all the chaos of a new computer and transferring all the files like I mentioned before. Like I said, my other computer was working just fine, so it was something that I was sort of eyeing for later when I was less busy. This is important to note, so I'll circle back to this in a minute. So one morning, I got an email from Apple about some sort of sale that they were having, and I sort of just ignored it. I didn't click it. I hadn't even been on the Apple website in almost a year, but it was right around the holidays, so I was getting a lot of different emails from different online stores. I'm sure you do too. So I went about my day, but I guess something about getting that email popping up sort of prompted my brain back into that mode of thinking about getting a new computer, wanting a new computer. So I decided that night to try out this technique that I had been working on with the focus of getting the new computer, the computer that would fulfill all of my editing needs. And here's a really important thing to note, and I think that this is why it worked so quickly for me. I didn't obsess about it. I simply followed the technique and went to bed, fully knowing that whenever I decide I want something, I can simply follow my process and allow it to be worked out for me, allow all of the things out of my control to be arranged in my favor. This is a belief I hold, and I highly encourage you to try it out. So I did the technique and I went to bed. So the next morning, I got a new email from Apple about something being left in my cart and something about a gift card. I hadn't even clicked on the last email they had sent. I hadn't opened an email from Apple in probably months. And I also hadn't even looked at a computer on their website in almost a year. So when I clicked on this email, the exact computer with all of the upgraded options was sitting in my cart. I almost fell off my chair. No, this was not a clever marketing thing on their part. They didn't know what upgrades I needed. I never even looked into that. And no, I didn't mistakenly add it to my cart months ago. This was some divine intervention at its finest. I wasn't making the move or taking any action, so the universe helped move things along by literally putting it in my cart ready to go. I think the funniest part to me was that it had all of these very specific upgrades with storage and processing things, and when I set the intention, I wanted the computer that would fulfill all of my editing needs. This had all of it. It wasn't just like the computer add to my cart, it had all of the upgrades. There was no error. The universe literally put this in my cart. I was just shocked. These upgrades were just so specific that I honestly just couldn't help but laugh. And they're not automatic. It's something you have to like manually click, like which upgrades you want at the checkout thing, because I went back on the website later and tried to add it and see how that all worked out. And it wasn't just like the standard things. And it doesn't end there. There was also a $200 gift card credit on my account. How that was there, I have zero idea. Nobody sent me a gift card, but there it was, ready to be applied. Plus, there was this substantial discount as well on top of all of this. So there was this mysterious gift card and then this crazy discount. Everything was rearranged in order for me to have this computer. The circumstances were manifested. And sometimes when you refuse to take action, the universe sort of just does it for you. It's almost like a higher power takes over and makes it just super obvious for you. If you're not gonna take the leap, you get pushed. As I finally checked out with this computer in my cart, it was almost this laughable feeling of, okay, I get it. Great move. And then one last thing happened that wasn't as much of a big deal, but it's something kind of gratifying and assuring. And it was just one last little thing of like, you did the right thing. So once I checked out, I was also sent another $200 gift card. I mean, was this part of a promotion or something? Maybe. I didn't really look into it or question it any further, but it was just kind of an extra little like bonus a bonus for taking action. And I know, I already know a few of you are probably sitting there looking at me saying, so didn't you just buy it? Was it manifested? And yes, I did buy it. The computer didn't just show up at my door, but the circumstances were manifested. The fact that this computer was in my cart with these gift cards and all of these upgrades, that was manifested. The circumstances. I talk about this all the time. When you are manifesting the circumstances for it to happen, but action is still required on your part. I mean, really, look back at things that you've manifested and identify what action it was that you took. There's always an action. Even just going for a walk, making a phone call, sending an email, those are all actions. It doesn't have to be a big thing. But I was literally sleeping when the circumstances were manifested for this computer. It was literally added to my cart while I was sleeping. That was manifested. I can honestly say that I manifested this in my sleep because that's when it all came together. My action was simply to click a few buttons and decide to follow through. I set the intention, the universe did all of the rearranging on my behalf, and then I followed through on my part. Co-creation. And I have to say that it's actually really fun to share these types of videos because I feel like it's one thing to learn these techniques and try them out, but it gets really exciting to see it actually work. And for me personally, I always find it inspiring when I hear about other people's manifestations too. Really, whenever you manifest something using one of my techniques or one of my meditations, please share your wins and stories in the comments because not only do I love hearing them, but it's also motivating for everyone else too. So be sure to try out that technique that I used. Again, I'll leave a link up here and a link down below so you can literally follow the process that I did to manifest this new computer. And I cannot wait to hear your results. Definitely share them in the comments below. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And also be sure to check out my Instagram at MKMagicMindset. I post tons of daily affirmations, law of attraction tips, and so much more. And also be sure to check out my website, mkmagicmindset.com. There you can find more about my programs, courses, how to work with me, and more. And I will see you in the next one.